Pirates, the ninja's deadliest enemies, and strangely romanticized in media. Aren't these guys supposed to be thieves and killers? Oh well, prime video game material I guess. And there are so many great pirate-themed games to choose from, like Raven's Cry or Skull and Bones. Okay, those weren't the best examples, but before the pirate craze, there was a game for the PS2 and Xbox that offered open-world exploration, engaging ship combat, and exciting swashbuckling action. It was called Pirates: The Legend of Black Cat, and it was developed by Westwood Studios and published by everyone's favorite Electronic Arts, all the way back in 2002. So, let me get this straight, there was a fully fledged pirate-themed game with all the bells and whistles of modern games for the PS2 and barely anyone knows about it? Sounds right up my alley. Let's load up our cannons and prepare to sail the treacherous seas as we discover whether Pirates: The Legend of Black Cat meets our expectations.
A young woman of the sea to the lair of Jack Frost.
Aren't you the bringer of winter? I must have more flowers. If you bring me a few, I'll give you my golden heart. It will help to protect you and keep you safe. Stand aside, you bag of bones. Or do you wish to die a second time? I had no quarrel with you, demon. I freed you from your prison. All I seek in return is that which is rightfully mine.
Get ready for the weirdest and most abrupt beginning of a video game ever. The story begins with a creepy old pirate trying to molest a girl who apparently has some sort of magic locket. Then the old guy starts yapping about some legendary ship called the Wind Dancer, and we are immediately thrown into a ship fight. What the fuck just happened? Was that a flashback? Who am I? Where am I? Why am I fighting these guys, and what the hell is going on anyway? Well, we destroy the ships, enjoy a few more cutscenes, and finally we get some proper context to this whole hullabaloo. We play as Captain Katarina de Leon, a bold and cunning pirate with a mysterious but tragic past, as her mother, the leader of the Pirates of Skull Cove, is dead. Even worse, Kat goes for the orphan bingo as she finds her father, the governor of the Pirate Isles, murdered by the evil Captain Hawk. I absolutely love that this guy was skewered, bleeding profusely all over the place, and he still has time to write a whole ass letter about what we need to do. And you'll never guess what that is. That's right, we have to avenge our father's death and uncover the truth regarding our mother. How do we do this? By traveling the 5 seas and exploring the Pirate Isles, collecting a bunch of MacGuffins and fighting every video game enemy under the sun, from drunk pirates to spooky ghosts and the fiery demons of hell itself. It's a video game plot alright, but wait a minute. This adventure takes place in 1762 and you play as a female pirate? Women weren't allowed to board pirate vessels back then. Is this game even historically accurate? Well, yeah, actually, there were many notorious female pirates back then, like Anne Bonny, Mary Read, and Grace O'Malley. And now that I've successfully informed you like the smug prick I am, I don't have much else to say about the story. It's a classic revenge plot with barely any noteworthy twists and turns. Kat is a very cool character at least, spunky, determined, and an overall badass. It's a shame all this great characterization is wasted by fighting crabs and grabbing magic stones. Hey, it's a good vehicle for the game's combat and exploration at least, so where's that? Let's talk about the presentation. I sure hope you love the Caribbean, because this game is nothing but endless islands and water as far as the eye can see. Grassy islands, spooky islands, snowy islands, lava islands. The entire mascot platformer color scheme is here. Yeah, the art style is pretty cartoony and lacks any blood and gore. I believe this portrayal is rather unfitting for the essence of being a pirate. But that doesn't mean the game looks bad though, despite the fact it's more geared towards younger audiences. The art direction is vibrant and full of color, and the regions are thematically distinct. Even though every level is a flat island with very simple variations in terrain, there are still many environmental details that manage to spice things up, like ancient ruins, hidden grottos, and shipwrecks. What impressed me the most though was the game's beautiful atmosphere, which is complemented nicely by the lighting effects and the magnificent skyboxes. It made exploration and sailing a very immersive experience, and it still holds up today. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about the models. Their textures are decent enough and I appreciate their art direction, but their low polygon count made me feel like I was playing a late PS1 era game. As for the sound design, it's just as good as the graphics. Every region has its unique theme, and the orchestral soundtrack filled me with excitement and anticipation for grand battles and boatloads of treasure. Combined with the great sound effects, such as the creaking of our ship, the clanking of swords, and the booming of our cannons, the game's soundscape is truly amazing. Unfortunately though, the music plays only during action segments or after lengthy periods of silence, which turns the whole escapade into a more lonely and introspective experience. The voice acting is also serviceable enough, although I felt like Katarina's voice was a bit wonky and all over the place. Sometimes he had an accent, sometimes he didn't. I don't know, it felt weird, at least to me. In any case, Pirates: The Legend of Black Cat is charming and immersive as hell, with great graphics and a captivating soundtrack. Sure, the levels all blend together after a while, the voices are hit or miss, and the models look basic, but you'll be too distracted by all the plundering to really pay attention to these minor flaws. When it comes to the gameplay, the adventure is split into two distinct modes: naval warfare and on-foot exploration and combat. Sailing the seas with our trusty ship, the Wind Dancer, and engaging enemy vessels is without a doubt the best part of the game. We can increase our speed and perform skillful maneuvers to evade enemy fire while launching devastating barrages with our cannons and utilizing various special items that can damage a ship's sails or inflict different ailments on its hull. But that's not all, because throughout our travels we can acquire special ship attachments that grant our ship unique abilities, like spewing fire or turning ourselves into a destructive battering ram. And of course, almost every island has an outpost we can liberate by blowing it to bits, transforming it into a friendly place of respite. Each outpost will provide us with weapons and provisions for our ship, while also allowing us to repair any damage and upgrade to a new, more advanced model. That was definitely my favorite part of the upgrading process, as we turn our ship from Steamboat Willie to the motherfucking Black Pearl itself. While blasting scurvy dogs out of the sea is excellent, I can't say the same for the on-foot segments. Katarina has a basic combo and a special unblockable attack she can use to defeat her foes. We also have a vast arsenal of items, such as explosives, throwing knives, and magic relics that can help us get out of sticky situations. Fighting enemies one-on-one is easy enough, since we can stun-lock them to death by spamming the first attack of our combo. But things get much trickier when we're surrounded by a group of them. Oh yeah, nothing like a white girl getting pounded by a bunch of gorillas. What? These black creatures really mean business. Oh, so you think I'm racist, huh? Well, there is a boss here called the Voodoo Master, and of course, he's black, he has dreadlocks, and says ooga booga when he attacks. So yeah, this game is pretty based. Anyway, shitposting aside, fighting multiple enemies at once is a miserable experience, because every hit stun locks you and renders you unable to retaliate. As a result, you just get combo to death and die an embarrassing death. You can tip the scales in your favor by kiting your enemies or using your items wisely, but still the movement is floaty, the combat janky, and each level is loaded with enemies that respawn again and again, turning this whole ordeal into a painful slog. The only enjoyable part of playing Katarina is the exploration. Like I said before, this is an open world game, so you always have a selection of different regions you can explore. There are tons of islands you can visit, and you are heavily encouraged to do so, because each one has tons of hidden treasure, power-ups, and various upgrades for our health and weapons. Even though the level design is incredibly simplistic, with enemies and items randomly scattered about, I still had a fun time exploring each area, searching for buried loot like some kind of telepathic bloodhound. During my first hour of gameplay, I was filled with excitement about all the possibilities the game could offer. But after only a few hours, I realized that there is nothing more to it. You enter a new region, liberate the outpost, fight a few ships if you feel like it, and then explore all the islands for their valuables. Rinse and repeat for about 10 hours or so, and that's the game in a nutshell. Don't get me wrong, I had a great time here. The ship combat and RPG mechanics are fantastic and still hold up today, while the exploration is wonderful, filling you with anticipation about the intriguing secrets you might discover. If only the combat was more fleshed out and the game wasn't so repetitive, then the game would truly be an unforgettable masterpiece. Still, it's a pretty fun time, all things considered. So what's the final verdict on Pirates: The Legend of Black Cat? Well, I'm actually kinda torn about this one. I really enjoyed sailing the game's dangerous waters, slowly upgrading my ship and turning it into a proper terror of the seas, destroying my enemies with a blaze of cannon fire. But the on-foot combat is unsatisfying, and while exploring is top-notch, it's not enough to make the Katarina sections truly stand out. Overall, I enjoyed my playthrough, but the game can be draining after a while, so it's gonna take a long time before I replay it. But if you're a dirty landlubber who enjoys pirate-themed adventures, definitely give this game a try, even if you don't plan on beating it. It's ambitious, it's immersive, and for its time, a revolutionary mix of action and open-world mechanics. Truly a forgotten gem from simpler times. And that's all I had to say about Pirates: The Legend of Black Cat. Thank you very much for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like if you did, comment your thoughts below, and subscribe for more stuff. You know how it goes. You can also support me on Patreon or become a channel member for early access to my videos and other perks. Have a great day, and until next time, take care and have fun.